Bingo. Okay, is the audio good now? Let me know. Abigail says, "Hey yo, what's up? I've loved your recent post. Very exciting, and I think I've saw now too. Hope all is good, and I hope to link in Tokyo again sometime soon." Justin says, "The shirt's so cool. Thank you. Cheers. I got this in Beijing, just from Zara. I'm excited about it too. This is one of those rare shirts that looks cooler in video than it does in reality. It really much has like that iridescent sort of feeling, which is really works on the 30 frames per second in camera live video. Fidget Spinner says, "Guys, it's PewDiePie." I gotta screenshot that. That dude moved to Japan as well. So who knows? I might run into him one day. I believe he's cool, right? He's not done anything like wily in the past couple years, has he? PewDiePie is just a generally funny streamer. I don't know. Let me know. Taiwan, number one gifter. I see you. Thank you for all the generosity. Says, "Yeah, man. So much of my content is still stuck on my camera. I feel that 100%. We're eye to eye on this. I had to order a SD card to use. Yeah, no, I have so many of those, and my new camera now too. I have primarily using CF Express card, so it's so much more difficult and expensive, but it is what it is. Sorry, FS Express cards. But yeah, shooting 8K raw video, it's SD cards are tricky in the past year and a half. Adam says, "Hello, my friend Wes. So nice to see you again. Back at you, Adam. Welcome. Thanks for all the cool comments you dropped the other day and the questions. Honestly, I'm shaping some of my future content on what you asked me in the live, so it means a lot. Good looking out." Vexus says, "Now good. I'm glad. Cool." Dalton says, "Yes, it's good." Hey, thank you so much. It's Moth sends me a skull icon. You rascal. Dalton says, "Love the content, man. Hope to see more." Thanks. That means a ton. And if you can't hear me, I'm just gonna say, typing it more every day. It's true. Every evening I've been editing and able to post it. Holden says, "Where is your dad?" He's around. That's info I probably don't share on my TikTok generally. Speedy Lemma, welcome back. It's great to see you. He says, "What's up, Wes? I'm just enjoying my Thursday. I have a family party this weekend with my cousin, who is very much like an older brother to me, so I'm very excited about that. Haven't seen that dude in 2 years. He is just a couple years older than me, but already has a whole family and a couple kids. Very exciting. So I'm stoked on that. The boy X says, "Sup, Wes? How's your day?" It's good. Thanks for dropping by and saying hi as always. It's good. I really appreciate you asking. How about everyone else? If everyone wants to share how their day is, I'm always interested. Aisha says hello with a ton of O's. Cheers for the enthusiasm. How's your day going too? I'm refreshing the comments. And if I miss your comment and question, don't hesitate to ask twice, Let's see. Prince says, "Have you done any new albums lately?" Do you mean albums within TikTok? Because there I do have the album of pricing and I have the album of words of the day. So I do have that. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm very excited about that. Thanks for asking. Jordan says, "Hey Wes, how's things?" It's good. Thanks for asking. Just really enjoying the winter. I like the Southern California winter. Japan's winter is top notch as far as, socializing, food and everything goes. But it's cold. It's cold for me. Tokyo winter is pretty frigid as far as I'm concerned. So no complaints with the weather. How about you, boss? How are things going for you? Oh, and I edited another YouTube video too, so I'm posting that sometime today. It's so much more interesting for me to do a bit more long format content every now and then. However, TikTok now does host 10-minute videos, so I'll try posting on here the 10-minute stuff also. I think that could be a lot of fun. Speed Dilemma says, "You should do fashion videos, photography, if that makes sense." It does, yeah, absolutely. And I have taken some video for fashion and photography. I'm gonna take a screenshot of that just so I can remember. I've done some street photography, street fashion videos that I just haven't edited because it is going to be outside of my format that I usually do. Every time I try a new style, a new sort of approach to like the narrative of my TikTok videos, it takes... All right, hold on. Sorry, I dropped the phone. It takes a longer time for me to edit. I'm just propping this against my monitor right now, but I hope that should work. It takes a longer time for me to edit it just because of the... I don't know, wrapping my mind around the full video, if that makes sense. I kind of am in the groove of how I edit my TikTok videos now, so I can edit them usually in an afternoon or so. But if it's a new kind of style of editing, I really am more critical on myself, just because the trial and error process starts from the square one. So I like to minimize the trial and error just with the error actually with my own trial, if that makes sense. Speed Dilemma says, "Oh yeah, I like that though. If you have any ideas for what kind of fashion or what kind of photography, I'm all ears," but that does make sense. Adam says, "You're so welcome, mate. I appreciate it. Back at you." And absolutely. Prince says, do you sing? Nope, not well, absolutely. I do make music just as a hobby. I've been into music ever since I was in university. When I was in Japan, I was in the K-On! Club, so I played bass and sung there. That was a lot of fun. We did some original music, but all my passion goes straight into video work and all my just professional endeavors within being a cinematographer and film and such. I'm not a good singer, but I do my best. It's a lot of fun. And then I do continue music production just with electronic music within just for background music and stuff for the videos I do. Thanks for asking though. Do I seem like I sing? I'm curious. Ty Walla talking to yeah, Felix PewDiePie is really cool with Trash Days guys and Chris Broad. No way. Okay, cool. I've watched a good amount of their stuff. It's a lot of fun, honestly. Justin says he just had a baby. That's hilarious. Good for him. It's not. That's a rude thing to say. It's hilarious to me because in my mind, PewDiePie is very much just like spastic commentary on like very very intense video games. Just applying that to a fatherly figure is yeah hilarious. I think that's fantastic. I can't wait to see how this progresses. Fidget Spinner says he slowed down. Oh, okay, that's good to know. Uh, I'll check in on that later. Prince says, cool. Broadcast. Thanks, man. That means a ton, Prince. I appreciate your commentary and I appreciate you talking about music on my stream too. It's a lot of fun. It's for me to hear about that. And then Hazel followed me. Thank you, Hazel. It means a ton. And then Prince says, anytime. You legend. Nani says, best advice to look for hotels. So my favorite way to look for hotel. I have two things of advice. I love looking on Google. Google has a great way. Just Google what is it? It's right next to Google Flights. It's Google Hotels. I'm pretty sure they have their pretty simple names. It shows a map and it shows a map with all the prices listed on it. That's a really good way for me to determine what area I want to stay in if I have the general bubble of where I want to search, as well as the prices I should be expecting. And I usually use that for a framework. Then I contact the hotel directly. But also if you're booking within Japan, Google will also have a pretty reliable English interface for booking any hotels. It's always worked well for me. That being said, I've always, within the past just 4 years, enjoyed Airbnb when it comes to finding places to stay. Just as far as price goes, as far as customer service goes, Airbnb has held everyone accountable for any sort of cancellations or extensions. It's been great. I love the service. I love the accountability for the hosts. Also, I find an Airbnb to be a bit more personable. I like having an apartment, a house within an area. It's usually a fun way for me to get kind of the flavor of the local scene, if that makes sense. So that's the main thing I have. Just a ground rule too for booking accommodations when I travel in Japan, primarily Tokyo. If you can just get walking distance from a train station, that just is night and day difference. I would rather have a smaller place that's a bit more expensive if it's a 5-minute walk from a train station, as opposed to a nicer, affordable place, more affordable place that's 20 minutes walk from a train station. It makes a difference day in, day out. So that's my personal preference. But those are just some guidelines I choose. And last year alone, I stayed at over, I think, 20 Airbnbs across Japan and China and the world. So hopefully that has a little bit of, you can take that into consideration. Not to mention the hotel sprinkled in and out of those trips. Faith says, literally dying to travel to Japan. Good. Well, don't die. Just live for it. Do the exact polar opposite. I hope that's something that I can facilitate making happen. Again, these videos I'll be making. Hey, Matt Funko Pops, thank you for the heart. It's always so, you're always so generous, and it's not forgotten. It's helping me more than you know with my goals to, finance more trips. Mainly domestic trips within Japan, I think, this next couple of months. But back to what I was saying. Yeah, the videos I'm planning to make for TikTok, for other platforms I'm on also in the beginning of 2024, will primarily be about budgeting travels, the cheapest, most affordable ways I found to travel, but also things that it's worth spending the money on. This is a mentality I did kind of fall into this past year alone after a lot of domestic trips around Japan. Some things, it's very, very worth it paying extra for the comfort. An amazing, enjoyable trip can be ruined by an inconvenient bus ride with a lot of luggage, or like just a poorly, hey, Matt Funko Pops, thanks for the crane, or a poorly chosen hotel or something. So I will always also be making videos about like the things to spend money on to make a trip more comfortable. Hey, thank you for more of the gifts. 80% of the live goal is completed. Celebrate. Woo! Matt Funko Pops, you're a boss and a half. Cheers for the... Oh my gosh, they keep coming. It is a happy holiday season indeed. Love, love, love the generosity. Always appreciate it. Remy says, yo, we early today? Yes, that is correct. I'll be going live earlier. I hope that works for everyone. Give me an honest opinion whether or not this is a better time for me to go live to connect with some of y'all as opposed to going live later. Because I'm just curious, you know, and the analytics don't exactly show me a direct answer for that. Taiwola says, in Tokyo. All right, thanks, SP Dilemma. Oh, what are we talking about here? Matt Funko Pop says, yo, the number 2 gifter, thank you for all the love and the generosity. It means a ton to me. Prince says, have you gone to LA? LA is where I was born and raised, and I am close to LA now, visiting family. Yeah, my family lives in LA. I grew up in Los Angeles. That's where I came back to for the holidays, although I'm visiting some family outside of the city now. Fadoa, I'm sorry I mispronounced the name, possibly talking to Speed Dilemma. There isn't a limit, but if you want to get it in through the JET program, they want 35. Interesting. Oh, under 35. Oh, for age? The JET program, if I'm not mistaken, that's the government-sanctioned teaching ALT, alternative ALT teaching program in Japan, right? Taiwala, thank you for the cranes. Means a ton to me. Generous is above and beyond. Thank you. I really mean it. So cheers. I'm gonna look into I have done a lot of research on the JET program recently, honestly, just because of so many questions I get about it. Although it does not seem to be a path that I'll be taking within my life. It's a lot of respect for that. ALT, what is that? Assistant language teacher. So that's what it is. The JET program is the government sanctioned by the Japanese government assistant language teacher. So essentially being an assistant English teacher at a Japanese, usually middle school or high school, it's one of the most heavily vetted and most renowned JET programs. If you're talking about under 35 is what they're looking for, that's interesting. Then Taiwala says, yeah, Google Hotel and also Expedia works. Airbnb is amazing also. Okay, I could not agree more. Aim for Yamanote-san. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we see eye to eye on this. I knew that for a fact. Finding hotels within Tokyo. If you find close to a train station on the Yamanote-sen, which is the Yamanote line, it's a circular loop line within all of Tokyo. It hits every major tourism spot within the city, and every major cool non-tourism, every fun spot will be on that line. You can essentially get most, I would say 70% of the places you get invited within Tokyo, they'll be close to one of those stations. It hits Shinjuku, Harajuku, Shibuya, in that order. Then Gotanda is the next one. It hits Tokyo Station. All of those stations are going to be on the Yamanote line. Absolutely. Sen means line in Japanese. By the way, Speed Dilemma says, if I go to Japan to become an English teacher or go to learn the language, is there an age limit or no? So someone else just said no, but they're looking for under 35. I don't know personally, so I'm gonna believe them 100%. Prince says, anytime. Cheers. If you think I look like a singer, then I am just overjoyed. Taiwala talking to Danielle. Japan isn't expensive right now. $140 to 104 yen to US dollar. Yeah, Japan is such an affordable place to travel now, and I don't think many people know in general how affordable Japan is, even without the yen being in such an abysmal state now. But it is. Even when the yen was at its strongest in the past decade, you know, a beer will be like $2 to $3 at many places. You can get most meals for definitely under like $7. It's a very affordable place to travel and live. The more expensive things would just be plane tickets, sometimes accommodations, but not always. And I would say Shinkansen, domestic flights, things like that. Taxis are still pretty up there, I'll say. And Uber is not quite as prevalent as it should be. I missed some comments and questions. Prince says, are you friends with Ed Sheeran? No, what are with these questions? That would be very cool if I was. I mean, as far as I know, he seems like a cool guy. Do I seem like I'm friends with Ed Sheeran? Faith says, はじめまして、進行。はじめまして。なんか進行の言葉あまりわからない。だからありがとう。はじめまして、ウェスです。よろしく、どうぞよろしくお願いします。お願いいたします。Tokyo winter wasn't that bad. Just it gets into your bones. That's bad for me. I'm born and raised in Southern California. Tokyo winter. And you were in Hokkaido nonetheless. The most frigid cold place in all of Japan. A beautiful place that I would love to be at, but ooh, if you can handle that, that's great. I did, on your advice the other day, I've been looking into like heated jackets and such. I like it. Kyle says, hey Wes, I'm late. Sorry, my notifications didn't tell me you were live again. Okay, it's all good. I'm glad the notifications are getting me in there at all. But thanks for joining anyway. And I'm very stoked to see y'all anytime, at any duration during my live. So cheers for that. Let's see. Speedy Lemma 608 says, what's your favorite clothing fashion brand in Japan? That would be Hare, Hare. It's kind of like it's streetwear, but it's osharena streetwear. So like fancy streetwear. Oshare, I don't know exactly how to translate that to English. It sounds like fancy. It's kind of like fancy, high end, but fancy streetwear doesn't sound as cool as oshare na streetwear. So it's like that. It's mainly because it has fashion that I have not seen outside of Japan. It's very specific to just like the youth culture of specific parts of the city, like Harajuku, and even within like some parts of Namba, Osaka. I like that a lot too. So yeah, that'd be Hare. I have some other ones too, and that I like a good amount, but that's up there. Yi Long says I stayed in Ota City. Love the little Hiwajima station. I was in Ota every now and then too. I actually found a very affordable Airbnb in Ota City. Also, I loved it. I'm not familiar with Little Hiwajima Station. I'm gonna look into that now. What that is. Hiwa- Hiwajima Station is a station of the Keihan Electric Express Railway located in Ota. Okay, there we go. Oh yeah. I see what you mean. It's the name of a station. I'm not familiar with that station in specific, but I love the area of Ota. If you want to find just like a very non-tourist area of Tokyo, Ota is up there, just with really cool little parks and just very quaint and relaxed. The polar opposite of what Kabukicho Shinjuku would be. Love them both for very different reasons. You know, I don't want to go walking my dog in the early morning in Kabukicho because you're just gonna have to walk your dog around like, you know, some dude passed out in his own like sick. But yeah, that for definitely anywhere but by Hiwajima Station is around Ota is the most peaceful, chill place. So that's awesome. Thanks for sharing. Always free to fly. Thanks for stopping by. Says, have you been to Tokyo Disney? No, I haven't. I have not been to Tokyo Disney, nor have I been to Universal Studios Japan or even Tokyo Disney Sea. Heard great things. Not for any main reason. I'd love to go to any of them, but when I do have the time and money to do like free stuff in Japan, usually I opt for like small flights around the country as opposed to a theme park. That's the only reason why. I'd love to at some point, though. I hear it's great. I hear it's much more affordable than a lot of the Disneyland options in other parts of the world. But I hear it's awfully crowded, and even to go on like one of the attractions, it can be like a to I don't know, 2 to like a 4 hour wait in line. So not a favorite activity in the summer heat when I'm often free too. Taiwala says, Appa hotels are good for that. Absolutely. Just rooms a bit smaller than regular. So 100% I agree. Appa or APA Hotel, I don't know exactly how you say it. It's a chain of hotels all across the states, the country, just like Henna Hotel. Affordable business hotels, they're classified as just small, affordable hotel rooms that usually you can book the day of or last minute. I've always had good experiences with them. Always, but I will say every now and then the Appa Hotel will be like in a kind of sketchy area. Not dangerously sketchy, but like Love Hotel sketchy. The kind of part of town where it's not going to be dangerous, but if you do like, if a girl walks you home and she walks you there in the night, it'll be like, all right, buddy, what are you doing in this part of town in the evening after a date? So that's what I gotta say about that. Remy says, yes, early works. Okay, good. Thanks, boss, for letting me know. Matt Funko Pop says, I'm your first level 20 member. You are number 1 gifter. Matt Funko Pops, cheers. I see that icon next to you. Number 20, level 20 member. Welcome to the team. You are number 1. Means more to me than you know. Thank you for all the generosity. It adds up. And a lot of the times all the time actually, I've been saving up the TikTok gifts for actual plane tickets within the country. So I'm gonna be going to Hokkaido next with a friend that's from there. So she's gonna show me around some of her like family's hometown locations, and yeah, everything is saving up for that. So thank you, boss. It means more to me than you know. Yi says, went to Japan a couple months ago. Was good. Didn't like the food. Prices were awesome though. I'm so glad about that. And yeah, food can be hit or miss. I am a fan and a half of the food there, but I will say that I did miss spice in a lot of the Japanese food, especially after being there for months and months. Jordan sends me a dinosaur emoji on Twitch. I don't know what that emoji is, but I love it. Thanks. Yeah, no, I can get that. You know, there's a spectrum, but I went directly to China right after Japan, and I was so thrilled with all just the levels of like the Szechuan spice, like the tongue numbing kind of spice that was in a lot of the noodle dishes I had. So yeah, no, it's not for everyone. I love it though. Is there a dish you did like in Japan? I'm so curious though, if you are coming from a position of not liking the food there so much. Space says, I like this time. Okay, thanks for letting me know. Cheers. And if I miss anyone's question or comment, don't hesitate to ask twice. I'm trying to get in everyone's comment. I'm trying to respond to everyone I can. but I don't hit everything. Let me know if I miss yours, you know? Fadua says, I'm going to on February 2024. Me too, my friend. To Japan for the first time. The exchange rate is good. 100%. I'm so glad. Yeah, this exchange rate now is, I think, better than it has ever been. So bad news for all my friends in Japan, unfortunately. Good news for anyone making money outside of Japan and spending it within the country. Refreshing the comments. Taiwala says, West spicy is cocoa at 10. Yeah, so 100%. You know, this is always the time. Hi Wes, long time, dude. Says Mamalicious. Welcome, it has been. Mamalicious, I see you there. Thank you for dropping by, and love your enthusiasm as always. Anyway, so Taiwala is professionally referring to Koko. I think it's Kokoichi. It's a curry restaurant all throughout Japan, and when you go and order most of the curries there, you can choose your spice level from 0 to 10. Now, I had my first cocoa curry when I was like maybe 3 to 4 months into my first time in Japan. So I thought that most of the food was not very spicy. So I went for like a heavy 6, and all my friends were like, damn, you're feeling brave, huh? And I thought I was pretty cool. I said, yeah, I got this. I grew up with some spicy food. I can handle this. I cannot handle it. It was hot as hell. Level 6 spiciness at cocoa curry blew me away. My face was red for like, minutes. My friends were laughing all the way out of the restaurant, unfortunately, at my expense. But a good memory nonetheless. It was delicious, but it was hot. I think cocoa, they use kind of like a Thai chili spice, I would guess. But yeah, hot as hell. Now I go for a healthy 4 or 3 level spice at cocoa, but 10, I can't even imagine. Darth Black says, weird question. Do you know if Japan offers Anyo? I don't know what that is. Let me double check what that is real quick. Darth Quack, if you want to elaborate. Anyo app, introducing Anyo, the AI-powered app designed to elevate your wellness for a thriving life. Is that what you're talking about, or am I just missing something obvious here? If so, apologies, this is embarrassing, but let me know. What is Anyo? Speedy Lemma says, what's your Twitch? Twitch is just my name, Wes Mather. It's linked in my bio. No need to check out all my accounts, but I'm loving being able to connect with different people at different times. I'll show y'all the janky setup I have here now. This is where I'm just recording my TikTok stuff at my family's place. I just have my other phone recording me for YouTube and Twitch, and then I have some of my fantastic people here talking to me there, and here I am. Something cool I like about this, it follows my head. I don't know if you can see, back and forth, and it blurs the background, but no one asked about that. This is very bizarre probably for everyone watching and just coming into it, so I'll go back to this view. Anyway, yeah, that's what I got there. Wes Mather on all platforms. OG Kristen says, going to Tokyo in March. That is my favorite time of year to travel Japan. I hope you have a blast. I hope you get to see all the cherry blossoms blooming in mid-March to mid-April. And it's not too hot, not too cold. I enjoy springtime there a ton. OG, travel safe, travel well. Ty Wallace says, woohoo, Hokkaido trip. It's going to happen, my friend. You inspire me, man. Talking to Mad Funko Pops. Yeah, my wife was in between jobs and I work remote. That is such a fun time to travel. I love it. Mad Funko Pop says, oh, wow, that sounds wonderful. Talking to Taiwala. And then Taiwala says, went for 5 weeks. I was following your trip via social media. Fun times, honestly. Okay, Remy, back with the questions. Uniqlo or H&M? So Uniqlo, if no one else knows. And Leo says, konnichiwa, koku ni kite arigato. Nanka, kore wa mou skoshi hayai. Yoku wa kono ato de 2時間ぐらいライブやってるだけど、今回お昼ぐらいライブしてかっただけど、来てありがとう. I just said hello back, then I said I'm going live a bit more earlier. Usually I'm about 2 hours after this I go live, but I'm seeing how around noon goes better. Anyway, back to Remy being a legend, asking their questions. Uniqlo or H&M? Uniqlo is like the fast fashion of Japan. I actually did a study on the history of Uniqlo in business class. It was very interesting. It's so cheap. It's very cheap fashion in Japan. People would buy a lot of stuff at Uniqlo, but then they would quickly take it out and throw away the bag because they're kind of ashamed at shopping at such a cheap place. So the owner of Uniqlo at their first store, they were like very sad because the second they left the store, the dumpster, the trash cans would just be overflowing with the Uniqlo bags because no one wanted to be seen because they sold out. They're selling out all their merchandise at Uniqlo. The first time they opened the first Uniqlo, but because it was famous for being so cheap, no one wanted to be seen like caring. This is such a Tokyo mentality too. People in Osaka are always about a good deal. So people in Osaka are like, bro, you have no idea how cheap I got this. But people in Tokyo are like trying to hide the fact that they got something for a discount. But yeah, Uniqlo is sharp. It's not my style. It looks. I like H&M. H&M does a little bit better as far as fast, cheap fashion goes. To kind of like adhere to a little bit more of like a, kind of like a street style vibe. Where Uniqlo is very, very much, I think, more of like trending corporate fashion. So I like H&M better, although I will say that Uniqlo quality does seem a little bit above and beyond. I think as far as longevity goes, as much as I love, a good deal on clothing too, if I buy clothing from H&M, which I often do, I feel like it just wears out and breaks. I don't know if I just have an overly active lifestyle, but I tear holes and I rip apart my clothing like nobody's business. And H&M clothing too. My like pants will have holes all up and down them. I think it comes a little bit with working as a camera operator because I'm like trying to get all the angles. I'm running around just leaning up against things. I don't know. But yeah, I like H&M better than Uniqlo, I think. Even though the history of Uniqlo is fascinating in my opinion. Let's see. Faroa says, a friend in Japan told me that GU is an even cheaper alternative to Uniqlo for affordable JP fashion. Yeah, I've heard about that. I don't know that much about it. I haven't shopped there much. And let me just do a quick search to see some details about it. GU Shibuya, GU Ginza. I don't know, to be honest. I haven't shopped at GU to be real. But yeah, that looks like it's around the price. GU, the fashion from GU looks very similar to what my image of Uniqlo fashion is too. Very just like calm fashion, if that makes sense. Not looking for an edge or something. But yeah, that's what I got for there. Then Remy, this one's a firecracker, literally. Remy says, Donkey or Walmart. So Don Quijote is, I guess you could say like the Japanese version of Walmart. However, it is so much more wild. I'll just get into a little bit. Don Quijote has, usually it's like an 8-story floor. No, okay, there are 8-story ones. It's a 3 to 8 floor store that sells everything. So like a Walmart, but I will tell you what Don Quijote has that Walmart would never be able to have. One is usually it has a full section of adult costumes, adult toys, not to get too much into it, and just wild things you would not imagine. Like I got a Christmas gift from Don Quijote that was men's silk lingerie. I think kind of as a joke, just that's along the lines of the things that they have at Don Quijote. They also always have year-round fireworks. They have year-round costumes, any kind of costumes, normal costumes. They have full groceries. That's what Walmart also has too. But yeah, Don Quijote in my mind is that much more wild. Don Quijote, the one in Dotonbori has like a full fish tank. They have a vending machine that sells edible bugs. These aren't things that necessarily I'm thrilled about having, but just the spectacle of a lot of these curiosities draws me to Don Quijote and the just general atmosphere within them more than Walmart. The utility of Don Quijote, when you compare it to Walmart, it's usually open super late as Walmart is. But one time my friends were going to a club and I was just, in sandals. I was in flip-flops because I was just out and about in the summertime. I was going to go to get some takoyaki, but I got, commandeered by my friends. So I couldn't go with my current shoes. So I went to Don Quijote. I found $15 shoes that would allow me into the club. Just random things like that. That's a good question. I love it. Speed Dilemma says, is techwear popular in Japan? It's clothing brand. I'm not sure, actually, to be honest. I haven't. It's a clothing brand. I know the style of techwear I see a lot in Tokyo, but not as much as some people expect. I feel like I see a bit more of it in LA. Let's see, refreshing the comments in a second. Yee's talking to, there's a crepe stand outside of Tokyo Tower that makes incredible crepes. Hold on, this is info I need to know. Simpy says, you would recommend? What are we talking about here? Favorite Insta ramen, I'm hungry. My favorite Insta ramen is pretty lowbrow. My favorite Insta ramen is UFO just because of the immense amount of pretty solid ramen you can get for so cheap. Then after that, I like Shin Ramen. I think it's actually from Korea, but it has a good kick of spice in it. Then just cup ramen, Instacup I think it's called, has like various flavors of Thai instant ramen that I love. And Aisha, you're making me hungry too. Simply says, I'm going to Japan for the first 2 weeks of March. Is there any specific restaurants? Absolutely. I think you asked about I would recommend any specific restaurants. If you're in Osaka, I recommend let's see, Matsuhita. Matsuhita is a old restaurant that's beautifully decorated. There's a great sense of atmosphere. All the seafood there. Hey, thank you for the gift, Taiwala. You're a legend for the Ginger Man. Fantastic. Beautiful character in Shrek as well. So in Osaka, that would be Matsuhita. They have fresh fish daily. They have amazing award-winning barbecue. They have like YouTubers, famous YouTubers go there every now and then to like take videos there. And just the general atmosphere is very cool. They have a big sign outside called Samurai Roll. It's been around for just a long time. So that's what I gotta say. Matsuhita is one. Let's go to Tokyo. One place I really recommend in Tokyo. Actually, if you check out 2 videos I made 2 days ago, I recommend some of my favorite places around Tokyo. But one of them would just be the street of in Shinjuku. Check out let's see, Amoide Yokucho. Amoide Yokucho is actually a couple of streets of really good stands of barbecue. I don't remember the names of a couple of my favorites, but being there and choosing for yourself is part of the fun, I would say also. So check out Amoide Yokucho. And as far as the chain goes, check out Torikizoku. Torikizoku is a great entry-level izakaya. You can make reservations there if it's on like a Saturday night or something like that. And they also have very entry-level like English menu, everything. I say entry-level because it's not one of the things where, you know, you're gonna accidentally order something that is very rare for Western taste buds. So that's what I gotta say for that. And I'm excited for your trip. I think that's gonna be great. I'm refreshing the comments. If I missed your comment and question, don't hesitate to ask again. Batman says, "What's Alan Caps? What's up, Batman? Cheers, good looking out." I remember you the other day. You changed your username. What was your username before again? Zelzuchiha says, "How do the Japanese react to anime inspired tattoos?" Bro, I will guarantee you, if you are in Japan with an anime inspired tattoo, I bet you're gonna make friends instantly. I would go to Ikebukuro, one of the most underrated stations in my opinion in all of Japan. And then they have cosplay there every weekend. Hold on. John says, "Interesting to see you on Twitch and not TikTok." I'm actually streaming simultaneously on them, but yeah, I love using this, and soon I will be streaming more like editing and stuff on my PC, so this is definitely going to be a good thing to use then. Anyway, yeah, every weekend in front of the Animate store they have like just kind of casual, a bunch of people cosplaying in the park, so I bet you will make friends there. And of course, you will see like a billion anime things, like just walking to the train station in the convenience store. I think like Demon Slayer sponsors various like bags of chips and candies in almost every convenience store I've seen. And I think the One Piece the One Piece manga is ending this year, if not next year. So there's One Piece stuff everywhere in celebration of that. It's wild. I haven't really watched much One Piece myself, but I will at some point. And yeah, I think you're gonna make friends and a half there, boss. It's Lol Goggles, welcome back. Hope you're doing well. Says hi again, bro. Hi back. Cheers for all the generosity and the gifts the other day. Means a ton. It's not forgotten. Eme with an orange says, "I'm going to Japan for the first time in February." Very cool. February to March. I'm so excited. I am too. Tess, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for the gift. Thank you for the hand hearts. Always so generous. It means the world to me. Anyway, Kaguya also with the gifts. Cheers, cheers, cheers. I love a rose. I love a rose, as you know. So February to March, that's great. That's just leaving the cold season, which is my nemesis, into March, my favorite time to travel. Hope you have a blast and a half. If you're around mid-March or early March, if you're in the southern part. Hey, Kaiser, thanks for the cowboy hat. Hey. All right, thank you. I almost got a screenshot of that. Cheers, it's not forgotten. Again, this is all going straight to my domestic travels around Japan, which should hopefully fuel more content. Another way y'all can help. Hey, the Kaiser. Cheers. Hey, I got the screenshot. Good looking out, boss. It means more to me than you know. Also, another quick self-promotion. If y'all want to comment on my last video, anything, it helps me more than you know, for free. Just it helps me with the algorithm. And also, I do kind of like source a lot of the topics for my videos from the comment sections of my videos. So it helps me out there. And I guarantee you I will reply to everything that I possibly can. Anyway, I'm excited for you too, Emma. Thanks for sharing. If y'all got questions about your trips, I will help in any way I can. Speed Lemma says, "Have you tried Baldak ramen. How do I? What is that? My immediate answer is no, because I don't know what it is. But I've tried a lot of ramen that my friends just recommend to me, so I'm gonna Google it. Baldak ramen. This came up quickly. No, so that's a flavor of looks like Korean spicy ramen. It looks like it's famous for being damn spicy. So I have not, but like I said, I'm pretty confident in my ability to enjoy spicy food. It's not like a competitive thing where I can down like painfully spicy stuff and like not sweat, but like my enjoyment of a decent level of spice is up there. The Kaiser, thank you for the more gifts. The blue gift, it's an easily up there for my favorite colors. Mad respect. Thanks for that. I mean it. Lost High says, Ohio, Ohio, koku ni kita arigato. Guys, there are more blues. Woo! Above and beyond generous. Mad love to you, my friend. Ohio, kita arigato. Atode, nanka, mina no gift arigato gozaimasu. Nanka, choudeshi desu. I just said, they said good morning, which is Ohio. I said Ohio. Then I said, thanks everyone for the gifts. Then I said, what am I saying? I'm so glad, is what I also said. Bridget, talking to Fado. What does Bridget say? Bridget says, what's the cheapest time of the year to go? So it fluctuates actually coming up next couple months is one of the cheapest times to travel. Around February. Hey, Taiwala, thanks for the gifts. Woo, it is a Merry Christmas indeed. And I mean that, yeah, so January, February are very cheap times to travel after people have their winter break. So after they get their domestic travel out of their system then. And it's also when students are often kind of like cramming for finals. And it's also when near the end of the fiscal year too. So people are busy working and schooling, doing too much work in school to do so much domestic travel. As well as too cold. It's too cold for a lot of other people to travel. That's the cheapest time to travel just because of a lack of demand. Also, around midsummer, because it's too hot, is a very cheap time to travel. God, I found travel tickets from LA to Japan for like $300 back then. I was so upset that I paid half that for my tickets. But, that's all. Can't stress about those things too much. The most expensive times to travel, because the cheapest times do fluctuate. Most expensive would be in Golden Week. Golden Week is early May, end of April, just because that's when the most domestic travel happens. Hotels are wild expensive. That's the main thing. And like trains are often booked, buses are often booked. God, because I'm used to getting some business hotels like the night before I travel. I remember panicking because I was looking for a hotel like a couple days before I had to find one in by Akihabara. I could not find a single hotel that was not like twice as expensive as I'm used to paying. But yeah, that's what I got to say on that, Bridget. Hope that's helpful. Remy says you could literally do your entire Christmas shopping at Don Quixote. Yeah, you could. I could buy everything I think I need. I could survive a whole year, I think, just shopping only exclusively on Don Quixote. I would even venture to guess I could survive a whole year only shopping at a convenience store because they have clothing there, they have toiletries there. I'm sure there are a couple like key things like medicine. That is one thing. Convenience stores in Japan don't have medicine like I don't know. I'm going off on a tangent of speculation, but no one asked about that. Remy says yes. Yeah, Walmart doesn't have an adult section. It's probably for the best, to be honest. Walmart gets wild, even without that. But yeah, it does not. You're correct there, Remy. Zales Uchiha says, how does... Oh, I got that. I'm refreshing the comments. Hey, if I miss your comment and question, don't hesitate to ask twice. Always free to fly. Says 7-Eleven is sad. When you get back to the States, it is. Unironically, I love the food at 7-Eleven Japan as a solid, decent meal. I say it's pretty healthy too. Some of my friends in Japan, they like show me all the ingredients. They say, hey, this is over processed. But compared to American food, it's not that over processed. I'll also say that anyway, yeah, but like my local 7-Eleven, God bless them, they've helped me through some late night drink runs or whatnot. Or some early morning coffees. But the food there, if I'm hungry, I have the choice of like, a hot dog, maybe a spicy hot dog, some maybe like a taquito. Not the worst stuff, but it's limited. Or the pizza there, which I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna try to throw silver lining on 7-Eleven pizza. It's not ideal. I'll say that much. Aisha is talking to LOL Goggles. He's home in Cali. That is correct. Thanks y'all for helping me answer questions I can't get to in time. LOL Goggles says, which Japanese city are you in? Yes, correct. I'm back home for this holidays. Then I'm going to be back into Ikebukuro, Tokyo coming February. I'm so excited. But I am enjoying the States. Taiwan talking to Uchiha. Honestly, unless you've got some serious arm sleeves or face tattoos, you're okay. Yeah, that's the thing. So tattoos, everyone really knows that tattoos outside of Japan don't have the strong organized crime connection that they do within Japanese culture. So you should be good. Some exceptions would be that like bathhouses, onsen, or like some public swimming pools or water parks, unfortunately, are kind of strict about who they let in with tattoos. If you have smaller tattoos, like Ty Wallace talking about, they'll usually ask you just to kind of cover up your tattoos with like they'll have like band-aids, or they'll have like Under Armour things. Band-aid, I guess, is that kind of thing. But they'll have stuff like that to cover up your tattoos. So you know, it just goes back. The history is kind of fascinating about that, because like really maybe 2 generations ago, almost exclusively Yakuza organized crime syndicates would have tattoos. So, you know, if you grew up and that was your mentality and you see like a Japanese dude with full of tattoos, you're going to assume like, dang, this guy might be bad news. But clearly that's not the case these days. Like three out of five like pop stars that are as tame as they come will have full body tattoos, I believe. So a lot of Japanese people know that now, and they know it's just, you know, a fashion statement, an expression of your beliefs on your skin. So that's what my go-to, just my general answer is for that. User 728 says, how much for Kobe beef? That's a good question. Just as a blanket statement, if I'm going out to order Kobe beef just by myself, I will be prepared to spend $70 to $80 for that experience. Usually it's like a pretty small piece too. When I've had Kobe beef, it's a show though. They come out, they bring me like a plaque that shows me like the farm the cow came from. They'll show me like the name of the cow, which I don't know if I need to know that, but hey, I mean it's the truth. It's what you get. They show then the beef is served on like usually like a hot rock, or sometimes on a hot piece of salt. There's like no seasoning, there's no sauce or anything like that. The flavor of the beef itself is enough, and it's small, but it's good. And I've heard too, small is good because Kobe beef, like actually like Wagyu, is so like rich and actually like heavily marbled. If you eat too much, it'll wreck your stomach. You'll be kind of like in for it, as far as just energy goes and health. But yeah, that's usually the price I would expect. It can be more or less. I haven't had too much, but I did have some in actual Kobe, which was dope. Speed Dilemma talking to Remy. I built a tolerance. The only thing I get is lip burn, lol, when I eat that ramen. What? Oh, is that the, what is it? What is the one? Buldak ramen? I don't know how to pronounce that. Is it that spicy? I'm so curious. I can order it and it can arrive tomorrow. All right, if people request it, I'll do some food reviews for spicy stuff. I don't know what I'm getting myself into, but I'll give it a shot. Ty Wallace says North Japan in January, February is super cheap. Okay, Northern Japan in January, February super cheap. I'm going to assume that's because of the price. Sorry, no, the cold, but who knows? That's interesting. Okay, cool. I'm gonna remember that. Then Yuhabaha. Yuhabaha, I don't know if I said that right. Talking to user 728, under $10. What are they asking? You posted the 700 ticket flight, but was it a one-way or round trip? The one I just posted, that was round trip. I should have clarified. So the flights, I just posted a video today about flights in Japan, getting cheap flights. That was all round trip. I just kind of assumed that's the case for most people traveling to Japan. You can select that though. You can select a lot of other options. You can select whether you want one-way round trip. You can select whether or not you are okay with an overlay or not. I've come to a point in my life where I am over overlays. If I can have a direct flight without stopping in like Hawaii or Korea or China for a couple hours, I'll pay $100 more just because I don't like it. That's all. But yeah, usually you'll get a much cheaper flight if you select an overlay, and you know, needless to say, direct one-way ticket will be cheaper, but not that much cheaper, to be honest. User 728 says, how much is ramen in American dollars? Oh, bro, you can have really good ramen for Gohyakuen 500. You can have really good ramen for $4 in Japan. And then solid ramen, like in an artisan shop, it's gonna be $6 to $7. Ramen prides itself for being like the working man's meal. Actually, it's kind of sad. Like I've talked about in some videos, just because of the general price of everything going up, some classic famous ramen restaurants have straight gone out of business because they refuse to raise their prices over 10 yen, over 1,000 yen, which would be around like $8 to $7, just because it kind of just goes against their principles, and they didn't want to change their recipes, and everything was just getting like mainly the electricity costs have gone up so much for a lot of ramen restaurants because they really, to make the best ramen broth, they really like boil bones and boil like a lot of this broth for like basically 24 hours. I don't know exactly the details for a lot of the high end stuff, but it's stuff like that. It's like 8 hours to cook one thing of broth, and then, you know, rinse and repeat and all that. But yeah, that's all what I gotta say about that. Aisha says I break into sweats when I eat bulldog ramen. Is that it's that intense? Very humbling experience. Then Remy says that ain't no joke. Spicy flavor will have you shitting. All right. I don't know. I might have to take back my statement about jumping into a bulldog ramen taste test if it's that intense. We will see though. It's escaped me. This is crazy. Aisha says, I love spicy, but that shit is spicy with a ton of Y's on that. Okay. All right, I'm gonna check myself. I might do it off camera first in case, because I've had spice. I had spicy in China the last 2 months. I had spicy there, Sichuan spice, that had me like unable to speak a little bit. Like the Sichuan chilies, they like numbed my tongue to where I would like have difficulties pronouncing like T's and the S sounds, and I was very much red in the face. I'm pretty sure I was crying too. I don't want that on camera. I don't need that off in the internet. I don't need that off in the internet. It was worse. It was bad enough in front of my Chinese clients. But I'll try it though, because I like spicy food. I do. Ty Walla says you can do a nice room for $120 a day. Oh heck yeah, we're talking about prices for hotels. Mateo says, I gotta say, you're the only TikToker live streamer I enjoy watching. I watch start to finish. What? That means so much. Thank you. That means more to me than you know. I love it too. I enjoy it just as much. So that synergy hopefully will continue. Comments like that boost my motivation and my confidence to keep creating more than you know. So cheers. I'll keep it up. That, wow, you warms my heart. I had to take a screenshot of that. Always feel free to fly. Says, if you got Charles Schwab, what are we talking about here? Landing at Narita. Oh yeah, again, the two airports, Haneda, Narita, and Tokyo. Narita is just a little bit more famously inconvenient because it's farther away. But that just goes to show how dang convenient Haneda really actually is. Where did my music go? Hold on, give me a second. Yeah, I usually, if I find a ticket to Haneda, it's usually about like, I don't know, $100 more expensive or so, like that. What is all this? Bingo. This is what I want. Your keys to adventure, says Wes, should we spend more time in the Kyoto area doing day trips or in Tokyo with day trips? Good question. I'm just gonna give a blanket statement for Kyoto because day trips, I think it's more relaxing there. Also in Kyoto, you have a lot more opportunities to do close day trips, I think, to Kobe, to Osaka, to Nara, to Shigaken, which is where Lake Biwako is, even to Fukui, which is on the Sea of Japan. These are all prefectures that border Kyoto that can be amazing day trips with completely different atmospheres. You know, Tokyo has those two. Enoshima is a day trip from Tokyo, but most of the time, if you travel a couple hours from Tokyo, you'll still be in Tokyo. Whereas, if you travel a couple hours from Kyoto, you can be in all those places which have distinctly different vibes, you know. That's what I got to say about that. However, that being said, within like the same, within Shinjuku, you can spend like 5 days in Shinjuku doing completely different things. Shinjuku Park, Kabukicho, like Nishi Shinjuku, which is like where the government buildings are. It's like the future. Tokyo is huge. There's so much stuff to do there. So it's a hard choice, but I would say Kyoto. I am a bit biased though for Kansai in general, so take that into consideration, you know? James sends the laughing emojis. Hope you're laughing with me, not at me. We'll see when I read your other comments. Just got an email from Twitch. What's going on there? Taiwala says, which airport you can get them at near the trains in Narita? What are we talking about? I love, hey, is now following. Thank you so much for the follow. Zales Uchiha. Cheers. I see you on TikTok and now I see you on Twitch too. Absolute boss and a half. I'm traveling there early February. Gotcha. Sweet. All right, I'm gonna refresh the comments in a second. If I miss your comment and question, don't hesitate to ask twice. I'm trying to get to everything, you know? Yuha Baha says, okay, thanks for the clarification. You got it, boss. That's what I'm here for. Yeah, I mean, I love making videos, but there's only so much you can do with like a one-way channel of communication. I love how live I can have this back and forth which really lets me, first of all, slur my speech like I just did several times, but also clarify all the things I wanna clarify. And then Zael Zuchiha sends me, yes, sir. Woo, with this on the Twitch chat. Mad love, mad respect. Thanks for dropping by. Shout out to Restream, by the way. I just found this out. It's a great way to stream on multiple platforms. I'll be trying to use it more and more in the future because I like the idea. Let me just float this by everyone here, all 38 of us in the chat. I really want to try to like have my desktop up here so I can show you guys what I'm like researching while I'm also here. Because I think so many of the times you guys ask me things I'm not 100% sure of, so I like do a quick search on it. And even if I show you like this, it's awkward and doesn't look that good. So I'm gonna try to find a way to do that. I did find a way to do it, but it's, you know, gonna work out all the kinks before I give it a test run on here. James says, yes, with you. Spice Talk got me. Okay, glad. Good to know. Yeah, no, I feel you. Some of y'all's comments, Remy, your comment on spicy ramen too got me too. Yeah, there are some very personal things that happen if you eat too much spicy food, but it is what it is. Your keys to adventure says, is Hiroshima a day trip from Tokyo? I thought it was close to Kyoto. Yeah, close to Kyoto. But Hiroshima is actually, I would hesitate to even say a day trip from Kyoto. Hiroshima's pretty far from there. If I'm not mistaken, it'll be a good like 3 to 4 hours. So it's a rough day trip. I would spend at least one night in Hiroshima. I would say Hiroshima is definitely not a day trip from Tokyo. I'm just gonna check how long to get to Hiroshima from Tokyo. I'm gonna say 5 hours. Unless you take the Shinkansen, 9 hours. Gosh darn it. Okay, by car it's a 9 hour 47-minute drive. By train it's gonna be 4 hours 45 minutes. So yeah, Hiroshima is 4 hours 45 minutes by train. That's the Shinkansen too, by the way. So it's like a $180 ticket one way. It says 20,000 yen, 320. Yeah, it's a mission, but I will also say it's a beautiful place to check out. Also, you know, it's heavy, but the museum there about the atomic disaster is just insane and important to see. It's wild. It's horrifying. So, you know, warnings, but it's a wild thing you should see. My study abroad top program brought me there, and I thought it was strange. I thought it was like a strange place to bring Americans in the beginning, but I get it now. It was like the resounding feeling I got once I left that museum was that we did awful things during the war, but our countries have moved to a place of friendship where we can openly talk about that, and I think it's as good as it can get with something so horrifying. Your keys to adventures. Oh yeah, anyway, I hope that's helpful. Enoch says, do you have any tips for Subway? Yes, I have to buy tickets right now. Okay, you got it. Subway, the Chikatetsu. I would recommend just getting a transportation card. It works for every single subway line in the entirety of Japan. I can almost guarantee that. That's if you can't buy that online, but you can download it on your phone. I'm using all my phones now, but look up the Suica card, the Pasmo card, the Icoca card. If you have an iPhone, you can get it in your Apple Wallet. And then you can charge it by just using your card or something, unless it's a Visa sometimes, just to charge it there. You can also get those cards at any major train station or airport, which is pretty. Hey, Matthew Kenobi says, yo, what's good? Hope you can hear me. Yo, back. I think my responses on Twitch are a bit delayed, but that's what I got for you there. Anyway, that's what I recommend. I've never bought tickets for the subway online. As far as I've experienced, any tickets for the subway, they've been less than like $5 for one way anyway, unless I'm really hustling to get across the whole city on the subway. But I've always just got my tickets in the station, which has been easy, and you have the added benefit of buying your tickets in the station, because most station attendants in Tokyo will speak enough English to at least help you out for getting a ticket, you know? And the ticket kiosks also have the English option. So yeah, God, I see myself now. I just gotta drop this random thought. I talk with my hands so much on TikTok Live, and I have discussed how like how I got into talking with my hands while I was learning Japanese, because I would do little hand gestures to say like walking or driving when I didn't know the words were correct or not. So I got into that habit, but dang, I want to play one day when I have like the night off. I'm gonna play like a drinking game or something, or some kind of game where like the penalty, I have a penalty every time I use my hands to talk. But for now, I'm just gonna let myself run wild. If you say let my hands run wild, that sounds strange. Ty Wallace says you can also do Hiroshima from Kyoto. Okay, interesting. Yeah, let's see how far that is. I remember going to Hiroshima from Osaka, and we took a ferry there though, so it took some time from Kyoto. If you have a chance to take a ferry though, we took a ferry from Osaka to a couple places. Hiroshima, it's a 5-hour drive from Kyoto to Hiroshima, and by train it is just an hour 40 minutes, so not bad at all. That's exactly correct. Taiwan, you know your stuff. Angel says, like your videos, Angel, that means the world to me. It really does. I put a lot of time and effort into them, so cheers. Speedy Lemma says, do you have any tattoos? If not, what would it be and what inspired it? No, I have no tattoos. A big factor in that is because I do so much work in Japan. It's kind of unfair because so many of my clients and my coworkers are literally blasted from tattoos in Japan, face to toe, head to toe, quite literally. But I'm often the one that has to go and negotiate with clients and go to the bathhouses and stuff. So it's very beneficial for me not to have tattoos. Although I really don't think you're gonna face much any sort of like adversity if you have tattoos in Japan, especially as a traveler. I really do think if you have tattoos in Japan, you are likely to make more friends that have tattoos in Japan than you would make like people scared of you with tattoos. Just my personal thoughts. Anywho, what am I saying? Yeah, if I did get tattoos, I really love the traditional style of Japanese Itazumi tattoos. I would want to get koi fish tattoos, just chest and sleeve, the chest ones. That'd be really interesting. I think that'd be a lot of fun. I have a friend that actually does those tattoos in Osaka. I already picked it out. It'd be about $1,000, $1,500 of tattoo work, even with my friend's discount. I will one day, I believe. You know, it's maybe gonna happen, but yeah, none for me now. Give me a moment to have some coffee. Speed Dilemma says, oh yeah, good question though. Ty Wallace says, honestly, with the direct flights, I enjoy flying into NRT. Heck yeah, that's good. NRT is a bit more relaxed. That's cool. That's good to know. Yeah, that's solid. I just love this subway from Shinjuku, where I usually live. Like, it's 45 minutes from Shinjuku to Haneda, but NRT is great. Let's see. Mateo says, I gotta say, oh, thank you so much, by the way, for the kind words. I'm refreshing the comments. Chris R says, how should I start when learning Japanese? Great question. I've heard great things about Duolingo. Everyone knows what that is, but I will do you one further than that. Duolingo is great for conversational Japanese and basic messaging, reading, and writing. But to really build a solid foundation, it's just not the most exciting answer, but it's so beneficial to have a textbook. I recommend the Genki textbook, Genky. You can find the PDF online. I also recommend the Mina no Nihongo textbook. But let's get to the fun stuff. I would say my most important tip for learning Japanese is immersion. That's just using the language to make friends, to connect socially every day. That's what keeps it fun. That's what boosts my discipline to keep studying every day, even when I don't feel like I'm making progress. So for me, that was like going out into into Osaka and like talking to strangers that looked cool, or like talking to my favorite bartender. After like the first 2 days, I guarantee you, the first lesson you're gonna have in Japanese, it's introducing yourself. Yoroshiku, watashi wa Wes desu. Watashi no shumi wa shashin no toru koto, California kara kita, toka sonna kanji. Stuff like that, like, hi, I'm Wes, my hobby's photography, I came from California. So you can start a conversation 2 days after that. I really recommend starting to talk to people as soon as you start learning. It just breaks down mental barriers of recalling vocabulary that oftentimes is harder to break down those mental barriers the further along you get into your learning process, if that makes sense. If you get into like having a casual conversation from the get-go, it's much more easy than like transferring everything from written like sentences into spoken sentences, I believe personally. Also, obviously, if you don't have like, you know, native Japanese speakers in your general vicinity, when you start learning, like I was blessed to have in Japan, you can synthesize that with apps like HelloTalk or Interpals that'll connect you with like a virtual pen pal in Japan probably that speaks Japanese fluently, but they want to learn English, so you can have like a language exchange, you know, and you can even make a friend in the process. Even I've heard friend stories of people like meeting their spouse on that service, but you know that happens once or twice, and then they talk about it forever because it's amazing propaganda for their app. So that's what I got to say about that. I hope that helps. But I'm here to help with anything, you know. Ty Wallace says, "Yep, I just designed my tattoo as well." That's exciting, boss. I'm curious. What, if you don't mind sharing, what kind of tattoo do you want to get? Enoch talking to Taiwala, had to buy when I landed. Are we talking about the transportation cards too? Speedy Lemma. Let's see. Says, how long did it take you for you to become fluent in Japan? I always say 3 years. 3 years of classes for the most part. I could essentially have a pretty solid conversation one-on-one and a pretty comprehensive group conversation after 2 years. But that third year really solidified my ability to just work there using Japanese primarily and sound more natural. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. Yeah, but everyone learns at different speeds. You know, there was this one absolute unit of a Englishman that was that's my really good friend to this day. That was in one of my classes. He got to like the top ranked Japanese class for beginners the first day by testing into it by just like half a year of self study. So I could never do that. Some people learn at different rates, but I will say that I have better slang than him now. Maybe if he hears that, he's gonna challenge me, but he's not here, so ha ha ha. Boyle says, how long are you staying in Japan? I was there for a year with some breaks to China and stuff like that. I'm back in the States now for the holidays to see family, but when I go back in about over a month or so, I should be there for another year if my visa clears like I expect. And then Boyle Peanut also says, what is your favorite city, town in Japan? Thank you for asking. I love talking about this. That would be hands down Osaka. I am extremely biased because I spent more time there and my best friends are there. But I will say circles of friends in Osaka are so welcoming, so like tight knit, and that sort of community oriented just lifestyle is just it seems so healthy to me and very like nice and relaxed. I'll just give you some contrast. Tokyo is fantastic, and Tokyo is the #1 place to work in Japan if you are pursuing any industry job. But most of my circles of friends in Tokyo are friends of people that like met from if not different parts of Tokyo, from different parts of Japan. Whereas my friends groups in Osaka, they're like groups of friends that they all grew up together. They've been friends since elementary schools. All their families know each other. Like, you know, they can walk down the street and their like neighbor will like invite them over to dinner. And just being a part of those communities by proxy of making friends through like work and stuff, it's such a welcoming experience that really just does quell and just eradicates so many senses of homesickness that I've had in the past. So that's why I love Osaka. Osaka, I will always say also, it's famous for having the best food. It's known as it's known as the nation's kitchen, Tenkai no Daidokuro, and it's just cool. Also, you can get to Kyoto very quickly from there. I love Osaka. And then a underdog shout out to Fukui. Nobody goes there for tourism, but it's like a seaside town bordering the Sea of Japan that is just so quaint. If you want some like Japanese countryside with super friendly locals, that's what I gotta say for that. Thanks for asking, by the way, too. Taiwala Travel, you're a legend for answering some people's questions I haven't gone to yet. Enoch says, only at the airport. What are we talking about? Yuhabaha says, oh yeah, how just study abroad? My uni provides it, but I need 3 years of Nihongo, but it's a lot for me. Yes, I feel you. I studied abroad through my university also. I studied abroad in an intro to Japanese language course. I studied abroad 3 times, so that was the first one. I was lucky. That course, you didn't need any Japanese at all. In fact, you could only take that course if you had not previously taken any Japanese language courses. It was fantastic. Granted, I do wish I did put in more effort to learn the language before I went to Japan, so I could have hit the ground running, as one could call it, but I didn't. So that's what I did. The process was arduous, as I bet you know, because, you know, you did have to have like 5K in the bank account, and then you just had to do so many things of paperwork. It was expensive too. I had to apply for so many scholarships. But yeah, my second one, I did have to have had 1 full year of Japanese language courses before I attended Tsuruo University. And I didn't. I wasn't even able to. I just barely made the cut because I went to one of the teachers and said, "Hey, I know your class is full. Can I sit in on one of your classes and maybe get an ad code if somebody drops out?" So I sat in on 2 months of the classes, being going above and beyond to be the best student, and eventually, like everyone always does, everyone drops drops. Everybody drops Japanese classes about 1 month in when they realize it's hard as hell. So, like clockwork, like the teacher told me, 1 month after the Japanese class began, I think 3 to 5 students dropped the class. And then, because I had been attending every class on time, they let me take the class too. They just gave me an ad code and I added it. Thank God, because then that was the Japanese first class in the first semester. And if you don't get that one, then you can't take Japanese 2, you can't take Japanese 3 for the whole year. So getting that class really just changed my whole future. Shout out to that teacher, Sato sensei. I gotta reach out to her someday and say, "Hey, you changed my life, you're super cool," via email. I'll do that someday. That'd be cool to do. David says, "Not the fastest one though." Okay, from Osaka it was about 4 hours on the Shinkansen. Oh, talking about Hiroshima. Okay, interesting. Yeah, if that's what we're talking about. Taiwala, #1 gifter, by the way. I see you. Thank you for all the generosity. It means more to me than you know. Everyone's gifts, by the way, if you feel so generous, it does go directly to my domestic travel funds. So hopefully I'll get more dynamic videos. Because I get to a point every now and then, if you watch a lot of my content, you'll be like, "Hey, I've seen that street before." It's because just my day-to-day working routine in Japan is often going to and from the same places. But when I have some days off, I'm planning to explore more parts of mainly like the Japanese countryside and so on. So that's what I got for you right there. Refreshing the comments now. Such as Life says, "Dude, you remind me of Kuroko from the anime Kuroko no Basket." I don't know what that is, I think. That makes me happy just because it's an anime. But if I Google this and if it's some dirty ass anime, hold on. I gotta Google it right now. Because I think it's a tentative thank you. Let's see what this is. Because, there's like some of those famous animes which are just about abhorrent things. Let me check this out. Kuroko no Basket. Oh, okay, cool. No, it's a wholesome looking sports anime. Dope. Okay, cool. I'm gonna watch it now. Such as Life, thanks to you, I'm gonna literally check out this anime this evening because I haven't watched anime in weeks. Callum says, "Hey Wes, hope you're well. Is soccer football big in Japan? I love it." So yes and no. Soccer isn't as big in high school as it is in the States, as just like a sport people play. But as a spectator sport, it is, I think, one of the biggest ones in the country. The World Cup it's huge. So soccer is big in Japan, but not as big as it is in the West. When I think of Europe, I think of soccer football as like, just something that whole towns, whole communities rally behind. As far as I know, it isn't that way in Japan, but not as much as baseball. Ben, thanks for the gifts. Thanks for the donuts. Speaking of all y'all's generosity, above and beyond awesome. But yeah, just as far as my opinion, I don't know the stats. Kurono Basket. That makes sense. I played basketball in Japanese university. I don't know if you all knew that. Not well, but pretty okay, I think. Let's see. How popular is football / soccer in Japan? Let's just see what a quick search of this shows me. Okay, about 5.3 million people in Japan played soccer. That doesn't give me any. What is the #1 sport in Japan? Baseball. I know it's there we go. Baseball, the national sport in Japan. Ha ha ha. Do Japanese people say soccer, football? They say soccer. I know that already. What's more popular in Japan? Baseball or soccer? Okay. Yeah, so I guess it is pretty popular, but not as popular as baseball. I'll look up statistics later. And actually, let me screenshot that. I'll make a video of that all on its own sometime. Chris R says, "Share the live." Hey, thank you, boss. I appreciate you all sharing my live. It helps me more than you know. Joe says, "Which school did you attend for language?" I'm looking at Genki Jaks. I don't know what that is, but I went to Osaka University, Handai, and then I went to Tsurubunka Daigaku in Yamanashi. Then the last school I attended was Doshisha University in Kyoto. I loved it. I studied the absolute maximum amount of study abroad programs you can attend to. I even had to petition to some of my advisors, and I took the maximum amount of summer courses so that it would fit within my curriculum. I went all out. I floored it into these life choices, but I'm stoked I did. That's cool though. If you do go through that, I implore you to make content for whatever reason. I've I've not seen that much study abroad content at all, as far as this like app goes or anywhere, honestly. And I would love to see it. I make some videos about my older experiences, but you know, it's nothing like saying like, hey, this is my day-to-day experience as an extension now. So that's what I got to say about that. Good luck though. I hope you have a blast. It was one of my best, like it was one of the most dynamic, wild times of my life, which is saying something. I'd say not to like hype up the past decade of my adventures, but there's been a lot of stuff. Such as life says Wes. By the way, such as life. I loved your other comments. Thanks everyone. By the way, just jumping in to say show my immense appreciation for all y'all checking out my content and all that. If I don't get a chance before the live ends, y'all are legends, and I hope you know that. Remy says the space lights just came on. Time to party. Exactly. You know the vibe. Absolutely. If I don't have it now, I'll have that link in my bio for these to be bought soon. The company just sent me another one so that I can market it because I like it a lot. It's gonna be like $7 or something. Should be good. But I do gotta test it first. You know, I'm gonna be upfront with all those things. It's insane. You're going ahead in time. I usually go backwards. James, what are we talking about? That's Tywell talking to James. Okay, you guys, I gotta refresh the comments, and I do have to go kind of soon. But let's get to all the comments and questions I can. In the next 20 minutes before I go get some food. James talking to Tywalla says, good traveling remedy. Ooh, what are we talking about here? Tywalla talking to James, but get a cold shower as soon as you land. It's like what are we talking about? I have to pay in full for mine. Someone today also told me that like a ice bath or a cold shower is a phenomenal remedy for jet lag. More power to you. I've never done that. I've done like 5 times in my life, like the ice like shower challenges or like an ice swim, like after a sauna. No joke, it shocks your nervous system into like obedience. And after I do that, I feel like, okay, nothing else is gonna phase me today. So I definitely stand behind people taking like ice cold baths and stuff. It's just I've honestly not done that as much in my life as maybe I should. Who knows? I also am not like wealthy enough to afford just a sauna on a regular basis. But that is neither here nor there. User 6677 says, I am heading to Tokyo for language school in April. Woo, 2024. I'm so excited for you. That's great. I hear endless fantastic stories about language school. Again, please share your experiences. If you make videos about that, I will be an avid fan and avid follower so I can live vicariously through you. Like maybe some of you can live vicariously through me working in media in Japan. And just wasting my life on my free time. That's a joke. Doing wild things in my free time in the most depraved parts of the city. We will see how that continues into 2024. Tywalla talking to James. I get lucky as it usually is for work. Travel for work is so great, but I do miss travel. I am saying like some of my next trips will be, this is New Year's resolution, will be very much just places I want to go personally, not for work. Gonna make it happen. Guitar, what's good? Guitar says, did you watch season 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen yet? No, I haven't. I started it, but then I realized I want to binge the series. That may have been a mistake because just the hype of people watching Jujutsu Kaisen weekly has been immensely fun to see from a distance. I haven't watched it. Have you? What are your honest thoughts about Jujutsu Kaisen season 2 with no spoilers, please? I did rewatch season 1 recently though in preparation for it. And I'm excited. Tywalla talking to James. I also usually end up flying business class, so it isn't half bad. Tywalla, look at you go. You absolute beast. As you know, Cosplay Hero, welcome back. It's always great to see you here. You say, what's up, Wes? Buying my plane ticket to Japan today. Woo! Look at that synergy. I just made my video on how I usually find the most affordable tickets on line. If you let me know your process also, because mine is usually through advice from people I travel with and also trial and error. But a lot of the advice of people I travel with is like they have like enough frequent flyer miles to get a lot of these things for free. So if anyone else has other tips for how to find like very affordable tickets, I'm all ears, man. I am. James talking to Tywalla. True, you're definitely glass half full and me half empty. Sometimes having one of each people of those, that's not good English, one of y'all each in each corner of a conversation is the best way to find the PowerPoints of each sort of like specific topic. I like that. Cole says no, it's a sport one. Sport one. Okay, good looking out, Cole. I see you. Yeah, no, I looked it up. Kudo no Basket. I'm gonna get into it. I miss a good sports anime. I haven't really kept up with sports anime for a hot second. I watched a good amount of Haikyuu. That was killer, to be real. But I don't think I've ever gotten into a solid basketball anime. So now's the time, you know. Ben says, hey man, just want to say, hey, love the content. Ben, that means a ton to me, more than you know. That's a lot of motivation for me to keep chugging away at edits. Keep chugging away at edits. So thank you. Keep it up. Thanks for saying that. I really mean it. Such as Life says, dude, you remind. Oh yeah, Kuroko from Kuroko no Basket. I should have known it was a basketball anime. That makes sense. Basket-to. I joined the basketball club in school called Hoops. Very fun. And also Basket-to. Good times. They were famous for just being wild people. Fadua says, have you ever watched Slam Dunk? I have not, but Slam Dunk is one of the just across the board most popular manga and anime that my friends in Japan have watched growing up. A lot of my friends in Japan haven't watched that much consistent anime, but they will say that, like, bro, if you want to watch something like Slam Dunk was my childhood, that's what I read on the way to school, and it's like, I'm going to be popular with the girls today because of I'm going to act like this character. They'll admit to that, then they'll say, but don't tell anybody that. But tell me if you think the same thing when you read it. Guitar says they dropped the last episode for this season today. It was stupid good, bro. You gotta binge it. Okay. You know what? I might just do that tomorrow. Tomorrow I have essentially the day off. If I finish my TikTok stuff today, I might just binge all of Jujutsu Kaisen season 2 tomorrow. I'd love that actually. I miss days like that, you know? Remy says, game. Woo! Okay. I'm stoked. We're going to do the game. So the game is the drawing game before I head out. It's going to happen without a doubt. James says, ice cold shower. Cool, I'll try it. More power to you. I got to be in a certain mindset to jump into an ice cold shower. I know I hear endless things about the benefits, the health benefits of an ice cold shower. It's just I never want to do it. I guess that's the point, you know? Everything is good for you. You don't want to do, like working out consistently, stuff like that. Callum says, I need to go, Wes. Good seeing you again. Take care. Cheers. If you're already gone, then just sending you my very best thoughts for the rest of your day or evening. And yeah, before I dip out, let's see what games we have here. This game is something called Draw and Guess. Pretty straightforward. It gives me a thing that I have to draw, and then you all can guess it. And at some point, I'm going to make like penalties for people that guess it right. I have to do a penalty or something within a time limit. But for now, I haven't thought that far ahead. Let's just draw this. Okay, this one's difficult. Also, I don't have the stand that I usually have. So this is an action. Let's see. I'm always worried about the actions too, because I feel like I'm going to accidentally draw somebody in like a compromising position. But this one, I think it's pretty easy. So what am I drawing here? What action is this? You know, like with stick figures, especially 2 stick figures, it's so easy to accidentally maybe draw some obscene actions. But this, I think it's pretty. What is this gentleman doing here? I don't know what we got here. User 667. Also, if you want to give me details on your language school, I'm so curious. Remy says juggling, correct. You got it. And then Fadua says juggling. By the way, let me know if I'm pronouncing your names right. I'm always doing my best. Taiwala sends me the custom emojis you can get, also if the emotes you can get if you subscribe to me, so thank you. Aisha says driving. That's a very good guess. I think the whole joke of this is also that I'm not very good at drawing on my phone, but I will bring out an iPad someday, sometime, and when that happens, I'm gonna jump up my drawing game to the next level. That's a promise. It looks like my Wi-Fi is dropping in and out of lost connection. Yikes. 4,000 likes. Thank you all. Still lost connection. Is it the drawing game this drawing game? Hold on. Okay, it's coming back. Hey, you guys lost me, but I'm back here. I gotta head out anyway, but I'm also like trying to stream on another platform. Check the stream on the social platforms. I'll stop that right now. Okay, guys, if anyone is still here from Twitch and YouTube, I gotta head out now. I'll be doing the same thing. Next time I'm streaming on these platforms, though, I will be streaming while I do editing for my TikToks, or while I do some like searching for hotels or flights or something. So stay tuned for that. And until then, peace out. You guys are legends. This lighting on my face is brutal though, so stop